Well, we're driving up to my favorite place in the world, my largest permission, and we're going to spend some time not metal detecting. We're going to do some more amateur archaeology stuff, so it's going to be fun. Yeah, hang on, we'll talk about it in a minute. This is the road up to my place where we're going to spend some time digging a big hole. And we did this last year as well with a little test pit, but we're going to talk about it. And this is my way in here. This is the place we call the New Hampshire farm site. Over 300 acres. And the landowner has been amazing. And she got me some other permissions from her neighbors and whatnot. So it's great. Well, we are here. I have some things to pick up. My sifter is underneath the corn crib here. So I'm going to pull up over here. We're going to pull that out of there, put it in the car. Yeah, and there's the old tractor barn that fell over this spring, sadly, but it did. And gonna put it in. There we go. That's the carriage house. And over here we have the old hay barn. Yeah. So, all right, we're gonna turn it off. We're gonna let Ann know that we're here, and we'll talk to you in a little bit. All right. Well, it's about an hour later. We stopped and I did my annual sort through my trash because this is where I keep my sifter. This is kind of like a home away from home for me out here. So I spent a bit of time doing that. Now we're going to drive out to the early homestead site that I found. And the plan is to do a trench, sift some soil, and see what we can find for ceramics and glass and all that kind of stuff. So driving out there now. We'll catch up with you in just a moment. All right, I'm carefully trying to pull in here into my spot without eating some rocks or a tree. Usually I back in here. But I left my tailgate open because I kind of had to. But let's see what I can do here without destroying my car. All right, well, I'm going to park it here. All right, well, we are here. We'll be right back. Okay, so here we are in the woods at the New Hampshire farm site. This is a stone-lined lane that I've walked many times to get to various parts of the property. There's over 300 acres here, I think 350 or so. And I'd always walked up this lane and would be walking along through here, and I'd see that big glacial erratic boulder over there in the woods. And you go a little further, there's an opening in the wall here. And one sunny morning last year, I was walking along here, and the sun was coming down the hill right along the path of what is like an old road that lines up with this opening in the wall. So finally I was like, well, okay, I'm going to go in there and dodge the trees and swing the metal detector a bit. So that's what I did. So right in front of us is the site. And I found all sorts of interesting things here. I think it was an early settler site, early Republic site. The story is the family first settled here in 1791, which does line up with everything I've found here so far. I have hit this so hard with the metal detector over the last year and a half. And some of the finds, including, I found a Massachusetts state copper right there. And right here along this wall, I found a beautiful Liberty Cap set. Right up through here, I found an 1802 draped bust large cent. And behind the blueberry bush here, a beautiful rat tail spoon bowl. Gives you some idea of the age of the site. scattered throughout the woods, I found a couple of drape bust half cents and a clipped one as well, which was interesting. My best find, however, so far here is what I found at the base of this small tree, about a foot and a half down. Buried in some rocks, unfortunately, so it did get scratched up, but I found our nation's very first dime, 1796 drape bust dime. That first day when I walked up here, I started getting noise about halfway up the hill before this big old apple tree. And the first thing I found was a broken colonial shoe buckle frame, followed by buttons after buttons after buttons. And just about every hole that I dug was full of broken ceramics and glass and you name it. But everything we've found here so far leads us to believe that this was a spot where people lived. Last fall, I dug a 1 meter square test pit over here, and we came up with more ceramics and glass and some bone and some other things. Also, a small cobbler's or upholsterer's hammerhead, which is very interesting, a tool. Well, the story of how I came to be here to begin with is kind of interesting. A high school friend of mine, Laura, um, connected me with the owner of this land for metal detecting. And her name is Anne. She owns the land along with her brother Joe. Been passed down in the same family since 1791 when they first settled here. And so I've been detecting here for about a year and a half now. I'm also very much into doing genealogy and whatnot, and I come from an old New England family. And my theory is if you're from an old New England family, you're probably related to everyone else in all the other old New England families, which is the case here. The wife of the first settler, her name's Mary. She was married to a man named Joshua. And in my research, I realized that Mary is my third cousin. So that makes Anne my 10th cousin. So I guess it's all in the family here. So it's interesting to do that kind of research, and what you come up with will amaze you sometimes. So Joshua and Mary moved here from southern New Hampshire, sort of the seacoast area, in the late 18th century, and they had a number of children. Betsy being their firstborn. Another named Daniel passed away early of a spotted fever when he was about 7, about to turn 8 years old. And Betsy later on married another man who was a stone cutter, and they kept the farm going because shortly after young Daniel died, his father passed away as well. Joshua died. So there was no men of working age on the farm until Betsy's husband came along, and just kept going from there. And the surname changed a few times. Various cousins have owned the property over the years, but it's still in the same family, which is an amazing thing. Uh, and there is actually a book written about it, which I'm helping to revise and add new material to about all the stuff under the ground that we've been finding, and any other information that was not included in that first book. But we'll be working on that some more this coming winter, and hopefully some of what we find here today or in the next 3 days, in honor of Sir Tony Robinson. We've got just 3 days to do it. Uh, yeah, we're going to do it over the course of a few weeks, actually, 1 day a week, um, and see what we can come up with, and away we go. Okay, well, this is where we're going to work. I am not an archaeologist. I'm an amateur archaeologist. And there's no real stratigraphy or anything here. This was, as far as we can tell, a trash area. So we're just going to take away the top layer and start digging and sifting as we go along. When I did the test pit, I got out the trowel and I went down evenly across the whole thing. But we didn't really find anything too interesting as far as layers. So basically, we just want to see how they were living, what they had, what they ate, perhaps, what sort of utensils they had, ceramics and glass and things like that. And the site, I think, pretty much dates between when they arrived, 1791, and the very early 19th century when they moved down off this ledge below where the current house stands today, and possibly built another cabin in front of where that was. Perhaps when Samuel, the second generation, showed up, he decided he needed something bigger for the family, and then they built the current house, which was probably built in, I don't know, 1820, somewhere around there, be my guess. According to the tax records, though, it's 1791, but we know that's not a 1791 house. We know they didn't arrive before 1791, and the family all concurs there was another structure down there before the current structure. So, yeah. All right, let's dig a hole. I'm just going to take a little bit at a time here and take it easy on myself. I'm not that young anymore. So I'm going to get a couple rows of the top covering off here. And then we'll dig down a bit and sift some of that as we go along. Like I said, we're not going to be very neat about it this time. It's hard work. Especially when you're contending with all of our wonderful roots and rocks that we have here in New Hampshire. It's everywhere. Like cables running under the ground. There we go. Got that one. Good. All right. All right. Well, I'm going to get a couple more off, and then we'll dig down a little bit, put some soil into my screen, get shaking it, and see what we come up with. And Ann might come up too. I don't know if she'll want to be on camera, but we're going to sift some soil with Ann as well. So, all right. Okay. Well, we have about a 4 by 2 foot section cleared here at the moment. This is not what a proper archaeologist would do. They would have everything measured out. They'd have lines drawn with their string and everything else, nice and neat sides, straight up and down in the trench. But we're not going to do that for the sake of time mostly, and the fact that I get tired and I don't have a whole crew working with me. But if you can do this at your place too, if you have any interesting place it's not of great historical significance where you should bring in proper trained archaeologists, you can do this in your back garden, at home, your backyard, friend's house, whatever. But if you find anything that says stop, you stop and you call the state archaeologist or whoever's in charge in your area. If you're in the UK, the fines liaison officer. Just do it right. Whatever you do, do it right and document everything you do. Take pictures. So if you do have to come back and revisit the site, you have something to show for it. And that all goes into the history of what you're trying to do. All right, well, we're going to shovel some soil into this screen here that I built and go from there. Lots of roots. It's going to be a minute before we get down to clean soil. Okay, well, we got enough soil in there to sift through a bit, and I need a break from doing what I was doing, so it's good to break it up that way. I'll do this sift on my own, then I'll let Ann know that we're at the point where we're going to sift the next batch, and we'll call her and see if she wants to come up, and we'll share that with her. All right, let's see if I can do this with one hand. I don't have this thing attached to me. Oh, here we go. Oh boy. Yeah, that's fun. We may be doing this on the tripod, folks. And if there's anything interesting in there, we'll show it to you after we discover it. Okay. Okay, let's give this a try. Okay. We probably won't have much in this layer because it's very close to the top. Most of what I've dug here from metal detecting has been quite deep. So we're probably going to want to get down about 8 or so inches before we start finding anything at all. But there's probably something in here. But that's the process. Ah, one little piece of terracotta right there so far. One little piece. So we'll collect these up and we'll look at them later after we wash them and stuff, I think. All right, well, I'm going to dump this out, and I guess I'll do the next bit by myself because we're not going to find much this layer. And I'll go down a little bit more along this same line so we have something to show Ann when she comes out. All right, back to it. So we've got Ann with us. So
Hi.
Ann's the owner. Her family's been here forever. Now let me shake this forward a little bit.
There you go.
There. Now I'm wearing it. So shake that again. I may have put too much in this time. Some bigger rocks in here.
There's our skipping stone.
There you go.
Oh, wow.
A little piece of china.
Yes. Neat.
That was an easy one because that's white.
Yeah, that's right.
You have better eyes than I do, so. Could I get you to hold this up for a minute, like this? I'm gonna bring the camera right over here. You can come around the front of it if you want. Is it too heavy? Got it?
I got it.
Okay. All right. All right. A lot of that Rudy stuff is still getting mixed in at this level. And I found a huge boulder in the hole that I think is going to stay there.
Resident boulder.
Resident boulder. So this is what New Hampshire farmers had to contend with anytime they wanted to grow something, right here. This is the easy stuff. Can you imagine having to dig all these out of the ground just so you could plant something?
Glad I didn't live here then.
And it's funny. Look at stone walls, and you don't think about them much. But they had to move every last one of those rocks just to plant something. They didn't go to the big box store and say, "Excuse me, where's your big rock department? I want to build a wall."
I'm not finding anything.
Not in this batch. No, I found one as we were starting.
Is that one?
It is. Yeah, there you go. Little piece of terracotta right there.
Yep.
Any glaze on that one?
I don't see any.
All right. Well, I think we'll probably give up on this scoop, and I'll dig some more and see if we find anything. All right.
Get rid of some of these rocks.
Yeah, I'm going to tip it down here. All right. So we're down about 10 inches, like 10 inches
Something
deep
like that.
on that side. Yep. And we've hit some orangey soil, which is the sandy stuff, and some gray stuff. We're wondering if it was burning. Hard to say. Could this be dried up clay or whatever? But we looked in underneath and we found some more china.
And a piece of glass.
And a piece of window glass, yeah. So we're going to have to get a smaller screen and sift all that stuff by hand maybe next week or something. I'll have to cobble something together between now and then.
Yep.
See what I can do. All right, let's sift this one. Here we go. There we go. Anything on top? Here's one.
Oh, yeah.
A little piece of terracotta right there. I'm hoping we'll find eventually like a bigger piece of a vessel or something. That'd be great. I did
you don't find it with a shovel.
Yeah, right. It'll be a many pieces of a vessel then. It's already broken. It doesn't matter. It'd be neat to be able to find all the pieces to that iron kettle that I found that last year and put it together. I don't know if it was a kettle or a cauldron, right? Like a bowl. Or I can't remember what the old
or even
bowl.
A skillet.
Yeah, a skillet. Well, it had legs on it.
Yep.
So.
Skillets have legs.
Do they? Okay.
All of them do.
I'm not up on the terminology, I guess.
I think that one you had a picture of had a handle.
It did. That's right. Yeah. And knows a lot more about this stuff than I do.
Oh, another piece of glass.
Oh, yeah, right there. Aqua. Whoop, fell through.
Oh,
it's right on top.
I got it.
I won't shake.
Got it.
Nice.
Yeah.
So that's 3 pieces of window glass all together now. And I had 1 piece of bottle or a glass, like a drinking glass or something last year. Yeah, I think the best stuff is falling through. So
yeah, that's probably true.
Okay, end of day 1. We're all tuckered out. We've been sifting all afternoon, and we have a pile of pottery over here that we'll show you in just a sec. Let's flip the camera around. Now here we are. We got a bunch of large pieces. A lot of it's glazed in some spot or other. And I keep spotting glass. There's a bunch of window glass, and this one is really nice. Got a little floral pattern on it. Little blue flowers and some green leaves. And we got out my old childhood metal detector. I didn't bring my main detector today. I found this, which is probably part of a fork handle. If I can get it to focus, I'll set it down. A fork handle piece. Would have had the scales on either side, and that's the pin would have held them on. So there we go. Off to the races. And here's the holes. We started on one end and started on the other end too, for a change of pace. So 2 holes, and we'll work toward the center in the days to come. All right.
Oh yes, now let's take it home. That's all.
I said, beep beep.